Welcome back to the KTLA 5 News at 6:30. The Orange County Sheriff's Department is asking for the public's help identifying a woman whose remains were discovered at Casper's Wilderness Park off Ortega Highway outside San Juan Capistrano. The body was discovered back in January and had been there for at least 6 months. Authorities say tests reveal the woman was petite, approximately 30 years old, and had shoulder-length wavy dark brown hair. Among the items found with the body was a dark windbreaker with the words Coach Williams on it and a logo depicting a volleyball or possibly a water polo ball. Anyone with information is asked to call the Orange County Sheriff's Department. Police have arrested a Burbank man in a double stabbing that sent 2 men to the hospital. 24-year-old Eric Peterson was booked into the Burbank jail for assault with a deadly weapon last night. Both stabbing victims were taken to the emergency room where one was treated and released. The second victim is still in the hospital this evening. Peterson was released about 4 this morning after posting bail.
And
Rick.
Courtney, the pastor of the Muscoy United Methodist Church out in San Bernardino has been arrested now, suspected of sexually abusing 2 boys. Stephen Howard is his name. He was arrested back on Thursday. He's been the lead pastor at the church since 2001. Before that, Howard was the youth director at an Ontario church. He's charged tonight with molesting 2 boys who are now 14 and 23 years of age. The alleged victims say that Howard paid them in exchange for sex. The older boy says the abuse started when he was just 9 years old.
1 person died and another was injured today when their car went off a cliff near Castaic. It happened off Lake Hughes Road, just east of Castaic Road. CHP shut down Lake Hughes Road in both directions while rescue crews scaled the steep cliff to get to the vehicle. The injured victim was taken to a hospital, and at this time, we don't know that person's condition. It's also unclear what may have caused the car to go off the road and into a deadly plunge. And police are investigating a nasty crash that happened in Santa Ana this morning. The collision took place just before 11:30 at the intersection of West Civic Drive and English Street. One of the drivers was found unconscious. He was taken to a local hospital in critical condition. Officials say there was a tank found at the scene, presumably filled with nitrous oxide. Santa Ana PD is investigating whether that tank played a role in the crash.
A glider pilot from Alhambra and his passenger miraculously escaped any serious injuries in an emergency crash landing up near Wrightwood. The crash happened yesterday morning. This is in the Angeles National Forest. This is rugged terrain about 5.5 miles north of Wrightwood. The 57-year-old pilot and his 53-year-old passenger suffered only minor injuries, amazingly enough. An LA County Sheriff's helicopter located the 2 just after that crash, then flew them to safety. The cause of the crash being investigated tonight by both the FAA and the NTSB.
Hundreds of Newport Beach Little Leaguers remain sidelined today after the city's entire league was suspended.
Yeah, just a week after that season's opening day, came the news of the suspension, and now 700 players all in limbo tonight.
Yeah, they're waiting and hoping for a word that they're going to be able to pick up their bats and return to the diamond soon. KTLA 5's Sarah Welch is live for us in Newport Beach and has the latest on this story. Hey, Sarah.
Well, hey, Courtney, they sure are hoping to get back to the game. You can see behind me there is no organized practice here tonight, but there is a new development. We learned just a short time ago the vice president of the Little League is going to have a face-to-face meeting tonight with the administrator who issued the suspension, hoping to get this situation resolved as soon as possible. Now, as you can imagine, and as you said, this situation has been a huge disappointment to the young players and their parents. The league's charter was revoked just days after the start of the season, and when it was revealed that there were too many coaches on the board. Well, now we've also learned that there's another problem. The regional office for Little League says it's looking into an allegation that the league suggested that teenage players in a brand new division stay home on certain days because there were too many players on the team. The board president tonight told me that never happened.
As far as telling kids to stay home when the roster is too large, that actually never happened. So it was just a mere suggestion on how to deal with a large roster.
If the Little League knew it wasn't compliant, why didn't it get it fixed before the start of the season?
It certainly should have been fixed before the start of the season. That's on us.
And the board president told me that the board is taking ownership for that. He says this all began one day after the president said the league had questioned the district about a 7-day injury rule and got no response. He told us that he wished that they had at least received a warning before the suspension. They would have rectified the situation. The bottom line, though, everybody's saying they really want to get this fixed for the sake of the kids so they can get back to the game that they love. We'll have more on this face-to-face meeting coming up later tonight. For now, Rick and Courtney, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Sarah, look forward to your report. Thanks for that. A Minnesota boy's dream comes true after writing a letter to his sports idol, Shaun White.
The 8-year-old boy's simple request was, please write me back. But the Olympic champion snowboarder had something else in mind. Take a look.
My name is Jet.
Jet penned this letter 15 months ago.
I am 8 years old.
It was for Shaun White, and he wrote it because Jet's mother told him he and Shaun were alike.
Just like you, I have heart surgery too.
As grown-ups know, Jet and Shaun are worlds apart, but in a kid's eyes, writing that letter to Shaun because they shared a heart defect and a love for snowboarding made sense. And last month, a viewer saw the story about the letter and used his connections to get it to Shaun. This is what happened.
Jet and Cooper Fern.
If Christmas weren't designated to December, you could have fooled Jet.
Oh my gosh! Jet, look at what it says.
Shaun White wrote back on a brand new snowboard, goggles, a helmet, a backpack, and a poster.
To Jet, walk on, Shaun White.
To say Jet was rocked would be underselling it.
Just what I wanted!
And for his mom, just a renewed sense of faith about writing to your mentor.
That means a lot. People reach out to little kids like, yeah.
Because when Jet wrote this letter, he had only one request.
Please write me back.
And like Jet, Shaun White was actually born with a congenital heart defect and had to undergo 2 open heart surgery operations before his first birthday.
That's
so
a
nice
great story.
Maybe they can meet one day, too.
Yeah, hopefully.
The East Coast got hit with record lows this winter, but here in Southern California, it is starting to feel like summer.
Yeah, the warm temperature is already sending swarms of people out towards the beach. Let's Christina Pascucci. She's live in Santa Monica for us tonight with all the crowds down there. Hello, Christina.
Hello to you both. Good evening. Please step into my office. If you have to work on a Sunday, not a bad place to be here at Santa Monica Pier. It is absolutely beautiful outside. The temperature is delightful. If you take a live look right now at Santa Monica Pier, we have seen a sea of people constantly moving through. It is not even spring yet, but it feels a lot like summer.
It was hot when we got here.
Southern California broke records today. Santa Barbara reached an unusual 84, and Santa Maria hit 89 degrees. The previous record there was 84 in 1918.
It's kind of hot. We came here because it's colder.
It's warm during the day. I was surprised though how cold it gets at night in California.
Corona, Chino, and downtown LA hit the low 90s.
It was really bad. It took like an hour to get here.
There was a sea of people cooling off in Santa Monica, sporting bathing suits, playing volleyball, and riding bikes. Taking in the scene, you would think it's summer.
It's nice. It's nice and warm.
While the Los Angeles area sees record high temperatures, our friends to the east are getting record lows. Snow's been falling in Sioux City, Iowa, where it's been in the low 20s.
I'm happy I don't live there.
And as Jim Castillo will tell you, this week we'll start to see cooler temperatures. The official start to spring, by the way, is this coming Thursday, if you can already believe it. I'm live in Santa Monica. Christina Pascucci, KTLA 5 News. Back to you,
Yeah, it'd be fun to be at the beach tonight, huh?
Not a bad place to have to do live shots all night, Christina.
Thanks, Christina.
Have fun.
Right?
Still ahead for us, Seinfeld star Wayne Knight. He's alive and well despite a death hoax.
Just ahead, how fans were tricked into thinking the actor had passed away.
Plus, Rihanna and Drake addressing their relationship status tonight. And Jimmy's back.
And hi, Rick. Hi, everybody. Lake Elsinore, a new record high today, 92. Santa Barbara, 84. And almost a record in downtown LA. We'll talk about a big cool down for St. Patrick's Day, and it's going to last. More on that coming up next.